Hey everyone, welcome back to Paper Highlighter. Today I'm diving into something a little controversial. The new season of 90 Day The Last Resort Season 2 just wrapped up, and I've got a lot to say about the female cast members and their true intentions. Now, I know I might sound like I'm not a girl's girl for saying this, but let's be real. Some of these women were playing their own games. You might be surprised by my take on the drama, so stay tuned. Jasmine already had a connection with Matt Brannis. I believe therapy can be incredibly helpful for many couples on 90 Day Fiancé, assisting them in working through their issues. It's always encouraging when therapists help couples reconcile. However, this season left me feeling disappointed, as I suspect some female cast members may have had hidden agendas for being on the show. Take Jasmine, for instance. From the beginning of her relationship with Gino, she struggled with intimacy issues. Despite this, she chose to marry him, which gave the impression that she genuinely wanted to be with him. But shortly after beginning therapy, Jasmine unexpectedly brought up the idea of an open marriage, revealing that she had been contemplating it for some time. Things escalated when she pressured Gino into agreeing to involve Matt Brannis in their open marriage, pushing him without allowing him the time to process the situation. This caught me off guard, as it seemed like she was rushing things. As the season progressed, I became convinced that Jasmine's true reason for joining the show was to portray herself as a victim. Her outburst at Rob, who suggested adding another man besides Matt to the open marriage, reinforced this. To me, it seemed like Jasmine wasn't using therapy to work through her issues with Gino, but instead, she was advancing her relationship with Matt, who had already become her confidant. Ariela Weineberg just wanted to prove Binyam Shibre wrong. I'm a fan of Ariela Weineberg, but I don't believe her participation in this season was truly about resolving her issues with Binyam Shibre. It seemed like Ariela was hurt by her husband and wanted to expose his wrongdoing to both her co-stars and the viewers. Unfortunately, things didn't go as she expected. She had difficulty connecting with her female co-stars, and they didn't back her up when she criticized Binyam. What struck me as odd was how Ariela continuously pressured Binyam to admit to cheating on her, rather than addressing other relationship issues. Over and over, it felt like Ariela was more focused on highlighting her efforts to save their relationship, while implying that Binyam wasn't equally committed. She seemed determined to portray him as an unfaithful husband who had caused her pain, rather than looking for ways to forgive and move forward. Her decision not to share a room with Binyam suggested that she had no intention of leaving the resort as a reconciled couple. Even during the tell-all, Ariela seemed more relieved than heartbroken when Binyam confessed to cheating on her. Sophie Sierra kept changing her narrative. I'm not a fan of Rob, but I have to point out that Sophie wasn't exactly a great partner either. When she moved to the United States, she knew about Rob's infidelity, including his interactions with other women online. Despite this, she chose to marry him. I would have respected her more if she had ended the relationship before going through with the marriage. Instead, she moved out shortly after the wedding and had an on-again, off-again relationship with him for 2 years. During the 90 Day The Last Resort Season 2 tell-all, she accused Rob of being abusive. What confuses me is Sophie's claim that Rob was abusive, yet she also admitted to hooking up with him after their breakup. She even slept with him at the recommitment ceremony, which made me question whether he was truly as bad of a husband as she suggested. Sophie's shifting narrative makes me wonder if she joined the show with the intention of portraying Rob as unsupportive and unfaithful, in order to gain more sympathy and support from fans and co-stars. While I'm not excusing Rob's behavior, it seems like Sophie might have had her own hidden agenda for appearing on the show with him. Julia Tkina simply wanted to bring her parents to the US. I've been a fan of Julia and Brandon since their first season. Despite their obvious personality differences, they've managed to make their relationship work and are still together. However, I was disappointed by Julia's selfish behavior in 90 Day The Last Resort Season 2. When she admitted to cheating on Brandon, she didn't seem remorseful at all. In fact, she confessed only because she no longer wanted to feel guilty. I was impressed with how Brandon handled the situation and ultimately forgave her. Julia repeatedly refused to seek a second opinion from American doctors regarding her fertility issues, which frustrated me. But I was glad when she finally agreed to do so. However, my support for Julia started to fade when she gave Brandon an ultimatum about helping her bring her parents to the United States. It seemed to me that she joined the season with the sole purpose of pressuring Brandon into assisting with her parents' visa application. While she claims therapy was an educational experience, her ultimatum made it seem like she was playing her own selfish game on 90 Day The Last Resort.